Penguin Random House Audio presents Where We Come From by Oscar Cásares. Read for you by Yareli Arizmendi. For Becky and for Adrian and Elena. Solemn's the night, but man has disposed his fraternal signs, and groping my way along roads and shadows, I reached the lit doorway, the little point of star that was mine, the breadcrumb that the wolves in the forest had not devoured. Pablo Neruda, Canto General. Prólogo. Los rules. No kicking the ball against the side of the house, not the pink house in back, and not the big blue one in front. She promises Orly that if later he eats all his dinner, she will take him to the field behind the school to make exercise, so he can practice all he wants kicking the ball. Allá, Nina tells him, you can kick and chase after the ball all you want, for as long and fast as you want, until the sun goes down, until they turn off the lights and leave you in the dark, until you get so tired of running back and forth you fall down, there on the ground, dead. She adds that last part to make her point, to exaggerate and maybe be funny. But when Orly doesn't laugh, or at least smile, she wonders if she said it wrong. Because when she repeats the words to herself, in her mind, as they occur to her, hasta que caes muerto, it sounds funny, at least to her. The idea of a young boy wanting to play so much, having so much energy on a summer day that he keeps running and running and running until his legs and body give out. Isas! He falls down and dies. Nina considers explaining to him that what she said was only an expression, something people say. Help him understand how she meant to be funny. She probably said the same thing to his father when she used to take care of him. But sometimes what people say in one language sounds different in another, and maybe if she says it the way she heard it in her head, he'll get the joke, and they can both laugh. But instead, she changes the subject and tells him that her mother used to rent the pink house, but that was before the accident, and now her mother only sits in bed watching her novelas and Judge Judy. Nina tells him the foil on the windows of the pink house is for when it gets hot. This last detail in case he is curious. Foil on the windows is the best way to keep a house cool and save money. Who doesn't know that? She has it on the pink house in back and not the blue one in front because she doesn't need everyone who drives by seeing how they live. Pink and baby blue. Those were ideas of her mother. The foil is there to protect her makeup boxes from getting too hot. Orly listens, but he wonders why she can't put the boxes in the blue house, if the closet in the room where he sleeps is almost empty. That, plus the blue house is really only big if you compare it to the pink house, and every time she calls it a big house, he wants to say they could probably fit 3 of her big houses into the first floor of his dad's house, not including the garage. But he keeps all this to himself because of the next rule. Have respect. Orly might talk back to his father, but not here. Not to his Nina. No, señor. Here is not Houston, a place where people spend all day driving in their cars, nobody looking at nobody unless they want to say something bad. Una cochinada. Blaming God for their bad luck because they can't cross from this lane to that lane, like he was the one who made the light turn from yellow to red. Sí, porque he has nothing more to do than to control all the traffic lights in Houston. Who told him to go look for work that was so far away they would always be in a hurry? Who said that if she is driving a little slow, it's okay to honk their horn and raise their finger at her, a woman already in her late 60s? Here Nina only wants her to be loved. She gives Orly a hug and a kiss on the cheek first thing in the morning and then again at night, como el sol y la luna. And so when she says, mijito, do not be sad, he needs to stop being sad. Things are going to get better. He is not the first boy to be sad. He won't be the last one. It is sad what happened, but that was last year, and now he's here with his Nina, and she wants him to be happy. Orly tells her he's okay. But okay isn't enough when she wants happy. The first day she took him to the zoo, which was fun, even if he had to take turns holding the umbrella or pushing Mama Mitch's wheelchair, and later, at the herpetarium, the one exhibit he was most looking forward to. He had to go in alone because Mama Mitch didn't want to be in a dark room looking at the faces of so many snakes and later have ugly dreams. The second day to the beach. But there, Mama Mitch said that in her life, she had already felt enough sand and dirt and mud between her toes, and besides, Nina was afraid for him to get into the water by himself. So he actually only saw the beach from the back seat of the car. And later, they stopped by the Dairy Queen for lunch. The third day, to the mall. But she must have forgotten that a mall in Brownsville is not a mall in Houston. Here, there's no ice rink, no Apple store, no Smoothie King. There isn't even a Starbucks. Seriously, how do you open a mall without a Starbucks? He imagines this is what it's like living in a developing country, Cuba maybe, only in this case with air conditioning and a Chick-fil-A. There's a movie theater, but he hasn't been to the movies since the last time he went with his mom and his brother Alex. On the way home from the mall, she mentioned Matamoros, but only to say it wasn't safe enough to be taking him across the bridge. Days 4 and 5 at the house, reading and taking screen breaks every 30 minutes or so, which is probably what he would be doing if his dad had let him stay in Houston. But to Nina, it doesn't seem right for him to be stuck inside, same as it doesn't seem right for a 12-year-old boy to take medicine for his feelings. And not just because of what happened to his mama, because Nina remembers Orly was taking the medicine already 2 or 3 years ago when she went to visit him in Houston. She has more opinions, but she keeps these to herself, and for now is just thankful his daddy brought him. If he let her, she would keep him for the whole summer. Always pray before eating. At first, Nina was saying the prayer in Spanish, but now at the table, and even when it's time to sleep, she says it in Spanish and then again in English, because she worries Orly might not really know what his father says he knows. It doesn't matter that he and his brother go to a private school where they teach them Spanish, because here, in this house, she has heard him speak it only to Mamá Meche and then just 2 or 3 words, a buenas noches or a buenos días, before he goes quiet again. His father claims Orly understands everything, but just prefers to respond in English. That they shouldn't force it on him. But this is coming from a man who speaks less and less of it each time he comes to visit her. Like Spanish wasn't his first language. Like he never grew up here so close to Mexico. Like now he is more from Houston than from Brownsville. Like people in this country are not allowed to speak more than one way. Eat all your food. Not just the parts you like best, tus favoritos, but the whole plate. This is not the Lubies, where you can point to what you want them to put on the tray and then pass up the rest of the food like you're driving in a neighborhood where you don't know anybody. He has no idea how many people live with so much less. If he knew how people went without food, he would not be asking if he needs to eat everything on his plate. If he can eat only half of what she serves him. If he can eat the arroz, but not the calabacita. Eat and be thankful, Nina tells him. She doesn't want to know about his favorite and unfavorite foods. All foods need to be his favorites. He needs to make them his favorites for today, and tomorrow have a new favorite, and another one for the next day. Like that. And not just the tortillas. They are not for him to eat as fast as she or Ruma.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?